Welcome, football fans, to this NFL Week 16 preview on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as we kick it off with Thursday Night Football in Week 16 with the Denver Broncos at 9-5 taking on the 8-6 Los Angeles Chargers in a battle of playoff contending teams in prime time. And we see the Chargers come into this matchup as a 3-point favorite against a Denver Broncos team that's been looking really good this season as their offense has been led by rookie quarterback Bo Nix, who's looking like an NFL 2024 Rookie of the Year candidate with the way he has this offense playing, especially as of late. But this Denver Broncos defense is definitely one of the top units in the NFL this season as they go up against the Los Angeles Chargers team who really need to get the running game going. They haven't been able to run the ball very well since running back J.K. Dobbins went on injured reserve, so they'll have to look to lean on quarterback Justin Herbert. Even though he's been dealing with some injuries as of late, he's been able to play through those, and he's got the best touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL right now. But he'll have to throw the ball around a lot to keep up with this Denver Broncos team, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting the Denver Broncos will get the victory here on Thursday Night Football. Next up in Week 16, we have two Saturday games where we will see first the Houston Texans at 9-5, traveling to take on the 13-1 Kansas City Chiefs, who are 7-0 at home this season, and they open up as a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup. But the news everyone's paying attention to is, will quarterback Patrick Mahomes be able to start and play in this game, as he's questionable with a right high ankle sprain. But look out for the running game to be key in this matchup of these two teams, and I believe the Houston Texans have the advantage in the running game, with running back Joe Mixon having over 900 yards rushing and 11 rushing TDs on the year, as this Texans offense will have to lean on the running game and their defense to give them a chance against this high-powered Kansas City Chiefs offense, and also this defense for the Kansas City Chiefs that's playing like one of the top units in the NFL this season, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting that the Kansas City Chiefs will get the victory in this matchup, as I believe they have the better defense in this one. And if quarterback Patrick Mahomes is going to play, I definitely give the Chiefs offense the advantage in this one over the Texans offense here in Week 16. Then next up on Saturday football in Week 16, we see the Pittsburgh Steelers at 10-4, traveling to take on the Baltimore Ravens at 9-5, and the Ravens open up as a 6.5-point favorite in this matchup after the Pittsburgh Steelers did not look good last week with their offense not being able to get on the ball, but two possessions in the second half against the Eagles, and they go up against this Ravens squad who's looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, especially on offense, but they've had some holes on the defensive side, and we've already seen this Pittsburgh Steelers team beat this Ravens squad once this season. So Tim Reynolds Show is predicting that the Baltimore Ravens will get the victory in this one, as I believe this offense for the Baltimore Ravens is on fire right now, especially with Lamar Jackson playing MVP style football, as he threw for 5 touchdown passes last week. Even though it was against the Giants, I do expect this hot streak for Lamar to continue against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that struggled, especially on the defensive side of the ball, against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. Next up on the Sunday slate, we see the New York Giants at 2-12 taking on the 7-7 Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta, where we see the Falcons open up as an 8.5-point favorite in this matchup. And the news everybody's talking about when it comes to this game is the Atlanta Falcons will have a new starting quarterback, as rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr. will get his first career start here against a Giants team that has just struggled all year long. The bottom of the league as far as offensive and defensive rankings, as they go up against the Atlanta Falcons, who have a pretty good high-powered offense when they're not turning the ball over, and they'll have to lean on running back Bijan Robinson to take the pressure off of the rookie quarterback, as if the Atlanta Falcons are able to run the football and be able to control the ball on offense, I believe they'll have the advantage here in this matchup, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting the Atlanta Falcons will get the victory in this one in Week 16. Next, we see the Detroit Lions at 12-2 traveling to take on the 4-10 Chicago Bears, and we see Detroit opens up as a 6.5-point favorite in this matchup against Chicago, as the Bears have lost 8 straight games heading into this matchup, and they've not been playing good football at all on the defense and the offensive side of the ball. And for the Detroit Lions, it's been injuries that have been the news for them, especially on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll look to overcome those injuries in this matchup. But quarterback Jared Goff is playing MVP style football right now, especially after a really good performance last week in a loss where he had almost 500 yards passing and 5 passing TDs, as he's got 30 touchdown passes on the season and over 3,700 passing yards. And he'll look to lean on running back Jahmyr Gibbs after the news that running back David Montgomery will be out the rest of the season with an MCL tear, as Gibbs will now be the primary running back. And for this Detroit Lions offense, they really need the running game to help them have a balanced attack and hopefully get the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had a really terrific game last week, and he'll look to continue that going up against the Chicago Bears team that's been struggling, especially on the defense. And Tim Reynolds Show is predicting that the Detroit Lions get the victory here in this matchup in Week 16. Next up, the Cleveland Browns travel to take on the 6-8 Cincinnati Bengals, who are fighting for their 2024 playoff hopes, and they'll need a victory in this game, as the Cleveland Browns will have a new starting quarterback on offense, with quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson getting the start here for Cleveland, who needs a spark if they want a chance in this matchup. But they go up against a Cincinnati Bengals defense that's been giving up too many passing yards and passing touchdowns this season with their secondary. But the offense for the Cincinnati Bengals team is one of the top scoring offenses in the NFL, with quarterback Joe Burrow having almost 4,000 yards passing and 36 passing touchdowns with only 8 interceptions. And his number one target, Ja'Marr Chase, is having a career year with over 100 catches for over 1,400 yards and 15 touchdown receptions, as the Bengals come into this matchup as a 7.5-point favorite. And Tim Reynolds Show is rolling with the home team, as I'm predicting that the Bengals will get the victory over the Cleveland Browns in Week 16. Then next, we see the Tennessee Titans traveling to take on the Indianapolis Colts, and the Colts are 6-8, fighting for their playoff hopes in the 2024 NFL season, as we see Indy opens up as a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup. And let's face it, these offenses for both of these teams have not been playing good football this year. And we see for the Tennessee Titans, they will have a new starting quarterback this week, as quarterback Mason Rudolph has been named the starter for the Titans offense, as they hope to get a spark with him at quarterback, as this offense has been turning the ball over at a high rate all year long. And the Indianapolis Colts' strength of their team is their defense, and they'll look to lean on that and the running game in order for them to have a chance in this matchup, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting that the Indianapolis Colts will get the victory in this one to improve to 7-8 on the season and improve their playoff chances for the 2024 season. But they'll have to make sure that running back Jonathan Taylor not only holds onto the ball all the way into the end zone, but also make sure he carries this team to take the pressure off of quarterback Anthony Richardson. If they can run the ball and play good defense, the Colts will win this matchup. Then next up, guys, we see the Los Angeles Rams at 8-6 traveling to take on the 4-10 New York Jets, with the Rams opening up as a 3-point favorite in this matchup. And they're coming off of a game where they scored no touchdowns but were still able to win, and their defense has been playing a lot better as of late, as this Los Angeles Rams team hopes to continue their winning streak and be able to hopefully win the division here in the NFC West, as I am predicting on Tim Reynolds Show that the Rams will get the victory in this matchup, as we see the Jets were hot last week out going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I do expect this Jets offense to be able to get something going, but with all the injuries now stacking up for the defensive side for this Jets team that has been struggling on the defense, especially the last few weeks, I do think the Rams' high-powered offense will be able to get the victory here, with quarterback Matthew Stafford throwing to both of his weapons, wide receiver Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, as I think they'll be able to pick apart apart that New York Jets secondary. Then next up, guys, we see another big matchup here in week 16 as we have the 12-2 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to take on the 9-5 Washington Commanders, who are 5-2 at home, but this Eagles team is also 6-1 on the road this season as they open up as a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup with quarterback Jalen Daniels of this Commanders team looking to take advantage of all the weapons he has on offense, including wide receiver Terry McLaurin, who's having a career year with 11 touchdown receptions this season. And even though Daniels is also running the football very well, this offense for the Commanders is going up against an Philadelphia Eagles defense that's one of the best units in the league, especially in the secondary, and their defensive line has also been playing better the last few weeks, and the Commanders O-line is a bit of a weakness for this team, but the defense for the Commanders is definitely going to have to step up, with the Philadelphia Eagles offense being able to show that they could throw the football when they wanted to, with quarterback Jalen Hurts almost having 300 yards passing last week. But you know they're going to lean on running back Saquon Barkley, who's having an outstanding season, looking like a 2024 MVP candidate, with him having over 1,600 rushing yards and 11 rushing TDs, and also being very involved in the passing game as well. As Tim Reynolds Show is predicting, the Philadelphia Eagles will get the victory in this matchup as they've won 10 straight, and I believe they're going to continue their winning streak going up against this Washington Commanders team that I think they match up against very, very well, especially in their division of the NFC East. Then next up, guys, we see the Arizona Cardinals traveling to take on the Carolina Panthers. And the Cardinals are fighting for their 2024 playoff hopes as they have a 7-7 record heading into this matchup, as Arizona is a 5-point favorite in this game against the Carolina Panthers. And after the Panthers were a favorite for the first time in over 2 years last week against the Cowboys, they got blown out. And I do expect this Arizona Cardinals offense to be able to pick apart this Carolina Panthers defense that's been struggling all year long. So look for Kyler Murray to ball out, as he announced on social media that he is trying to get tight end McBride a touchdown this season, as number 85 set an NFL record for receptions in a single season, 89, without a touchdown pass this season, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting the Arizona Cardinals will get the victory in this matchup in week 16. Then next up, guys, we see the Minnesota Vikings at 12-2 traveling to take on the Seattle Seahawks. And we all know it's a tough place to play there in Seattle, but we'll have to see if quarterback Geno Smith is going to be able to suit up for this Seahawks squad after he went out with an injury last week against the Green Bay Packers. But look for this Seahawks team to lean on the running game, with hopefully running back Kenneth Walker being able to come back for this offense to be able to help them going up against this Minnesota Vikings defense that's one of the top units in the NFL this season, as we see Minnesota opens up as a 3-point favorite in this matchup. So look for the Vikings offense, who's been on fire for the last few weeks, to continue that streak against the Seattle Seahawks team, as I believe the Minnesota Vikings will be able to get the victory in this matchup, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting a Vikings win in week 16, as I believe this offense for the Vikings is going to be too much for the Seattle Seahawks defense to handle, especially with running back Aaron Jones having an outstanding season with almost 1,000 yards rushing. And you can't forget about all-pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson, who now has 82 receptions on the year for over 1,200 passing yards and 8 touchdown catches on the year, as the Vikings are looking to hopefully contend for the number 1 seed in the NFC if they're able to get the victory here in week 16. And then next up, guys, we see the New England Patriots traveling to take on the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills open up as a 14-point favorite in this one, and quarterback Josh Allen has been on fire the last few weeks, folks, and he's definitely looking to continue that good play, especially in week 16. And there's not much to talk about in this matchup because the Patriots have just been struggling all year long, not only on offense but also on defense. So Tim Reynolds Show is gonna predict that the Buffalo Bills will get a victory in this one, as they're trying to hopefully get into the number 1 seed for the AFC Next, we see the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to take on the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders open up as a 1.5-point favorite in this matchup, and there's going to be a lot of backups playing in this game, but look for tight end Brock Bowers for the Raiders offense to really be a key guy for this offense, a focal point, if you will, in order for them to be able to get the victory. But Tim Reynolds Show is rolling with the upset here. I'm going with the underdog, the Jacksonville Jaguars, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting the Jaguars will get the victory in this one, led by quarterback Mac Jones, who had a really good game last week against the Jets. I expect him to continue his good play with this Jacksonville Jaguars offense going up against this Las Vegas Raiders defense that has not been very good all year, especially the fact that they've lost all-pro defensive end Max Crosby for the rest of the season due to injury. So look for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get the victory in this one. Then next up, guys, we see the San Francisco 49ers traveling to take on the Miami Dolphins. Both teams are sitting at 6-8 and are fighting for their playoff hopes. As slim as they may be, we see the Miami Dolphins open up as a 1-point favorite, so this could be one of the closer matchups of Week 16, as both of these offenses have been inconsistent, especially the last week from a performance from the San Francisco's offense that wasn't able to score a touchdown, with the Rams defense shutting them out, and also for the Miami Dolphins offense, they struggled with turnovers against the Houston Texans in a loss against them. So we'll have to see what happens here. I think this one's going to be very close, but Tim Reynolds Show is rolling with the home team, as I believe and I will predict here on Tim Reynolds Show that the Miami Dolphins will get the victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Next on primetime Sunday Night Football, we see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 8-6 traveling to take on the 6-8 Dallas Cowboys, who are 1-6 at home this season, and we see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers open up as a 4-point favorite in this matchup, going up against a Dallas Cowboys team that's been playing better as of late, especially on offense the last few weeks, but the defense for the Cowboys has been dealing with a lot of injuries, especially with Trayvon Diggs, their top cornerback, being out the rest of the season with an injury, as they go up against a Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense that scored 40 points last week against the number one scoring defense for the Chargers and had over 500 yards of total offense, as they'll look to continue their hot streak on offense here in this one, as Tim Reynolds Show is predicting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get the victory in this matchup, as I believe quarterback Baker Mayfield will continue his hot streak of play, as he has 32 touchdown passes on the year, and they're looking to get wide receiver Mike Evans 1,000 yards on the season, especially after his performance last week where he had 159 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns, as they're going to look to get him the ball early and late throughout this game, as I'm predicting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the victory on Sunday Night Football to get 5 straight wins and their 9th victory of the year. And finally, it's Monday Night Football, where we will see the New Orleans Saints travel to take on the 10-4 Green Bay Packers in prime time on Monday night. And the Packers open up as a 14.5-point favorite in this matchup, as they definitely have the better team of these two squads in the NFC, with the Green Bay Packers still looking to get one of the top seeds in the NFC. But right now, they'll probably have to settle for one of the top wildcard spots, with both the Vikings and the Lions looking like better teams in their division right now. But look for this Green Bay Packers rushing game to continue to dominate and feed running back Josh Jacobs, who has over 1,100 yards rushing on the year with 12 rushing TDs, as they'll look to lean on the running game to get the victory in this one, especially with how good their defense has been playing as of late, with this New Orleans Saints team struggling throughout the year, playing backups, especially at the quarterback position, with quarterback Derek Carr reportedly out for the rest of the year with a fractured left hand in 2 places. So look out, as this Saints team is pretty much on a rebuild right now, as they go up against the Packers in Lambeau, where it's a tough place to play. And Tim Reynolds Show is predicting that the Green Bay Packers will get the victory in this Monday night matchup to get their 11th win of the year, and they'll definitely look for quarterback Jordan Love to continue continue his good play, not turning the ball over, and being able to control this offense, especially with how good the running game is, which could be key for them heading into the playoffs in the 2024 NFL season. And guys, this has been your NFL Week 16 preview and predictions from Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel and leave some comments to let me know what you guys thought of the show or how you think your NFL team is doing this season. And I want to know, who do you guys think will clinch a playoff spot here in Week 16, and who is the top contenders? I should say, which teams are the top contenders in the 2024 NFL playoffs? Let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for all your support, and please make sure you like and subscribe to Tim Reynolds Show and share with your family and friends to join this awesome football-loving sports entertainment channel community here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. This has been Tim from Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, guys.